Well, truth is, I like the 12 more than the Pro for a couple of reasons. And instead of making you watch till the end, I'll just tell you them straight now. So for one, it's lighter, and for some people, they might say it's not that significant and that weight is more luxurious and it makes the device feel more expensive. But I would say that the 12 is almost a little bit too top heavy, where the 12 in terms of the weight distribution is more balanced. There's more RAM in the Pro, but honestly, there's not much difference unless you're trying to open up an app from like 5 days ago, in which you probably have already closed and have to reopen it anyway. I'm sure in 3 to 4 years, 4 gigabytes of RAM in an iPhone is still going to be pretty solid. The light art is great, especially for helping with depth shots, especially at night. But 95% of my photos are during the day, and 99% of the photos I took between the two, the 12 and the 12 Pro, are nearly identical, and you guys confirmed that to me on Instagram too. The 12 overall, for a majority of people, including an Apple enthusiast like me, is just a better value for your money. Even the 11, I'll get into that a little bit later, is still really good value for your money. So now that you know up front, drop a sub and a like. And for those who want to know more of my experience and the point of the 12, continue watching. So it's going back to the old iPhone 5 design. It's got an aluminum frame and a glass back. We've seen this design before, but I have to admit, this is the most scratches I've ever gotten on an iPhone. Actually, not even an iPhone, a smartphone in general. So there's this new screen display shielding called Ceramic Shield, which is 4 times the improvement of being shattered when it's dropped. It's the most I'll do. But I found it really scratches my screen easily, and I have no idea where they came from. I mean, my iPhone 10 is 3 years old. I bought it used, and there's nowhere near as many scratches or deep scratches on this thing. Actually, matter of fact, let me grab my iPhone 6s. So my iPhone 6s from 2015 has never had a screen protector and has less scratches, and it still gets software updates 5 years later, Android users. But besides the point, then the iPhone 12. And I've had this for a little over a week. So without a doubt, grab yourself a screen protector. I'm not sponsored by anyone, so go on Amazon, type in iPhone 12 screen protector, and choose a product that has a minimum of 4.5 stars. Look through reviews and photos. That's what I would do. The box design is in fact comfortable, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's an improvement. I've actually found it a bit more difficult to pick it up versus my iPhone 10, where with the curved design, it kind of just slips into my hands. But with a flat surface, it can't really do that. It's more of you have to grab it by the sides and pick it up, which requires a little bit more effort. And I'm just a guy that likes his curves. Regardless, I enjoy both designs in the hand, and taking photos and videos is just much easier with this boxy design. But let's dig deeper into the display, pun intended. So using Apple's Super Retina XDR display with 2,000,000:1 contrast ratio, if that means anything to you, basically dark mode looks a lot better and it gets insanely bright is how I describe it to most people. Your blacks are pitch black and they're not going to be a shade above it. We're also getting higher pixel count from the redesign and a brighter screen, but compared side by side to my iPhone 10, I don't notice the difference too much because, well, the iPhone 10 is OLED too, and this phone is 3 years old. However, outdoors, I will say that the iPhone 12 is noticeably more brighter, but I would say overall, you're still getting about the same screen real estate as the previous iPhones with the notches. But compared to the iPhone 11 with its liquid Retina HD display, people at night will probably have a more enjoyable experience if they decide to move over to the 12. I feel like a lot of people who will upgrade to the iPhone 12 are those on the iPhone 5, 6, 7, and 8. You'll notice a big difference when upgrading, and say hello to Face ID during a time where you have to wear a mask. I can already feel your pain. On the iPhone 12, we have a dual camera system, which is capable of HDR and Dolby Vision recording at 4K 30. With the new A14 Bionic chip and the help of Deep Fusion, the post processing really does make this camera system being one of the best in business, especially with video recording. Now, on this channel, everything has been shot on an iPhone because it's what's accessible to me, and it also doubles as a smartphone. and I can confidently say that video quality is much better than my iPhone 10 and SE. It's incredible the amount of detail and consistency I get when shooting the video. You really don't know what's out there until you try it, and I'm telling you, if you try the iPhone 12 video recording, it's incredible. So another big part of iPhone 12 is 5G.
We're bringing 5G to iPhone.
Let's go! Luckily in my area there's 5G, and I went all the way to the city to see if it can be better. It was pretty much about the same, around 100, 150 megabits. And there's no ultra wide location near me, and God forbid I paid to get into a city called New York again. I'm gonna do it anyway, but it's impressive, and I'm not knocking AT&T or, why did I say AT&T? I'm not knocking Apple or T-Mobile. I'm on Sprint, but we got acquired by T-Mobile. But the Note 20 gave me a solid 300 megabits, and I wasn't getting anywhere near that on the iPhone 12. Now, this millimeter band is only available in US because of regulations and policies, so bummer to those outside the US, but hey, at least you have 5G in your phone, and if you do decide to come to the US, say hello to the millimeter wave and Corona. This is also a good segue into battery life. Even with 5G always on, I was able to get through the entire day, no problem. During my day test with using maps to navigate, taking photos and videos, I got home, I still had about 30% left. I know there's videos online of battery life with these phones, but you have to keep in mind in those tests, the displays are usually at 100% and it's constantly being pushed until it's drained. I'd say 99% of people don't use their phones like that. Your brightness is constantly changing. You're not hitting it with benchmarks or heavy tasks all the time. In my situation, at least, I'm at home, I'm connected to Wi-Fi pretty much all the time. I have battery saver mode on because there's not that big of a performance hit. So I squeezed out even more battery life out of it. But when I was out and about, it got me through the day, no problem. There's something to be said about Apple's battery size compared to the competition because that software optimization is incredible. So in terms of battery life, check. Now the improved specs with the A14 Bionic chip being on a 5nm process, same amount of RAM, still one of the fastest smartphones on the market. Probably won't notice anything immediate because iPhones tend to age really well. Unless you care about opening up apps every day like 1 second faster, be Apple's guest. But I do give claps for the 5nm process chip. That presentation from Hope blew me away.
Every year, iPhone sets the standard for mobile performance, even challenging the first smartphone chip in the world built on the latest 5nm process technology. It's up to 50% faster. A14 also driving increased image quality.
It's hard trying to find a dislike because this is honestly an improvement across the board, especially from my iPhone 10 and the 11. But my iPhone 10 will probably still be my personal device because, well, I'm happy with it, and the price that I got it at was amazing for $256. And overseas, this phone is even more of a mess, particularly in Asia and South America. But hey, people will do anything for an iPhone, like enter a giveaway. So check out below the subscribe button in the description. It's there for you. No one else, specifically just for you. Anyway, that's what I dislike about the iPhone 12 is the price. You see, with the iPhone mini included into the 4-phone lineup now, the iPhone 12 starts at $830 for 64 gigabytes. It's not $799. You only get that price when you activate with the carrier. So do keep that in mind if you check out the Apple website. With bigger apps and better videos that you're taking, you're going to be eating up that storage very quickly. We don't have expandable storage like the rest of the world, so it's iCloud or offload your apps and photos. I would check your storage right now, and if you're hovering around 64 gigabytes, you might want to look into getting 128 gigabytes. Although if you're okay with using iCloud, deleting your apps, or have no issues at all with storage, 64 all day. But I caution you, the future is only getting bigger, and I'm not talking about your dreams. Dream big, but trust me, your apps will dream bigger. I'm forgetting something really important. MagSafe. I'm tired of talking about this topic, and I think this is just the first generation of MagSafe for iPhone and will get better over time. But as of now, as an accessory, it's not something you should go out of your way and buy just because you have an iPhone 12. Keep in mind you have to add in additional cost to the phone if you get the case, the charger, the power adapter. you're sitting close to $1,000 altogether. I still use normal wireless chargers I have around my apartment, and I found fast charging to be much faster through the cable, even though Apple did allow a higher charging rate with MagSafe. Ask me how I feel about MagSafe this time next year with more potential accessories, but for now, don't talk to me about MagSafe for the next 365 days. So, do you gotta have it? And yes, this is a new phone, but realistically, not much has changed from the 11 or even the last 3 phones. Here's my personal advice when Apple does something like this, because this is a redesign like I said before. If you can wait out another year for your current device, wait for the S or the 13. I think more will come and improvements will be made from this 12, and I always encourage people to fall on the S cycle or go 1 year after the redesign. Basically, the 12 users are guinea pigs. Nice guinea pigs though. Now, if you think your phone won't last a year because your battery drains fast, usually that's the reason why people upgrade, or you're unsatisfied with your camera, or the 12 for the value of the money is great with trade-in or carrier deals with the Apple Card. But I'd say if you have an iPhone 8 or below, it may be due for an upgrade. I have a lot of friends and family on the iPhone 8 or below, and they're having problems. And I always kind of just push them up and say, hey, you might want to get the 12 or the 11. I'm sitting on the iPhone 10 and my battery capacity is at 87%. It gets pretty hot, but replacing 256 gigabytes is a tough pill to swallow, and I'm not swallowing it. I might just replace my battery and call it a day. Getting the iPhone 11 and the 11 Pro used is an amazing option, but I don't think people are going to give up their iPhone 11 so easily. Trust me, I've looked on Facebook Marketplace. The iPhone 11 is still MSRP to people. If you check the Apple refurbished store, if I could redo this whole video, I would just say, imagine the iPhone 11 with OLED, box design with magnets, better camera, better processor. That's the big changes, if you even want to call it big. With all that being said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this review. The 12 Pro is coming soon. Subscribe if you want to see more tech content. Leave a like, and as always, guys, much love. Back to using the iPhone 12 Pro, because that thing is a beauty. It's a piece of luxury, not a smartphone. Don't kid yourself, guys. Also, one last thing. Apple Silicon, Apple Silicon. It's coming, it's coming. Phil, please present. It's my dream. All right, guys, I'm out. Peace. Apple Silicon, Apple Silicon.